Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our final episode of the year of Devil's Den. Tonight, with bittersweet longing and fresh emotion, I am sad to confirm that the New Jersey Devils lost in Game 5 to the Carolina Hurricanes, ending the New Jersey Devils' season until next year. We have been knocked out of the playoffs, but we have not lost our spirit. Tonight's game was... You know what? I'm just going to speak from the heart here, okay? The Devils deserved to win tonight's game. Not because I'm a Devils fan, not because I wanted to see the series continue, not because I wanted the Devils to succeed, but the Devils played, I would argue, their best all-around game that they have played the entire series. And sometimes that's just not enough. It sucks. It hurts. It's not over. This team is still growing. This team is not going anywhere. And we still have years left to compete with these guys. With Hughes, with Hischier, with Brett, with Hamilton, with all of the players that we love, from the top of the Hughes to your McLeods, to your Hollas, to your Bastions. This team will be back next year, and we are going to make the Hurricanes regret ever knocking us out of a playoff spot. This is definitely bittersweet. I didn't think I'd be making this video this early into the playoffs. Scratch that. I didn't think I'd be making this video so late into the year. Because we shouldn't look at this year as a failure. We shouldn't look at this year as the Devils got knocked out and our season's over. Look at how far we have come. I want you to raise your hand. I want you to put your hand on your heart and swear to our almighty Lord, Akira Schmid. And I want you to tell me if you thought, honest to God, that the Devils were going to do anywhere close to as well as they did this year. Everyone thought, and I mean everyone, okay, thought the Devils, first of all, we're not going to make the second round of the playoffs. We're not going to make the first round of the playoffs. And we're definitely not going to be in contention for the Metropolitan Division this year. Most people thought the Devils' rebuild was still underway and that we were barely going to scrape out of the bottom of the East. But we proved them wrong. This Devils team has exceeded expectations in nearly every way, from forwards to defense to goaltending. We made great, or I shouldn't say we, Tom Fitzgerald made great additions in players like Holla, like Meyer, like Siegenthaler, like bringing up Hughes into the playoffs, by bringing up Schmid, giving him playoff experience, bringing in guys, drafting guys like Dawson Mercer, like this, bringing guys like Tomas Tatar, bringing in guys like Andre Palat. This team is going nowhere, anytime soon. And when I say nowhere, I don't mean like we're not going to achieve anything, because we will. We're going to be in the running for that cup, for that Stanley Cup, for years to come. This team's future is so bright, it's blinding. Okay? This is definitely a tough video to make. I really... They deserve to win this game. They deserve to win, from the checking to the tenacity. Schmid played a great game in net. Meyer had a goal and an assist. Almost had 2 goals if he had scored that damn empty net. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. It's a tough pill to swallow. It's a tough pill to swallow anytime a team that you enjoy watching loses, period, but has the year that the Devils had and just couldn't get the job done in Game 5. I don't want anyone to think that this team did badly this year. They absolutely did not. And if you're one of those people that, take to social media after a loss or slams this team or says this team didn't get anything achieved, I don't want to see you next year. Because this team has, they exceeded expectations in every way. They had the most point turnaround from last year to this year. Most difference in points from the 21-22 season to the 22-23 season. In NHL history, the greatest Cinderella comeback story in the history of the NHL. No team has made that big of an improvement in 2 years, in back-to-back years, than this team has. When the chips were down in games 1 and 2 against the Rangers, a lot of us did not give up on this team. They go to the second round, they go down in games 1 and 2. And for a lot of us, we did not give up on this team. So I am asking you, I am begging you, please, I know it stings now. I know that it hurts now. But do not give up on these guys. We're going to come back next year with probably even more improvements to this team. Remember, we don't even know what kind of moves this team is going to make in the offseason. We have a pretty good idea of maybe some of those moves, like Mackenzie Blackwood. I genuinely don't know if he stays with the team or not. But name me a team. Name me a New Jersey team that you have rooted for harder than this one. Was it the 03 team? Was it the 2000 team? Was it the 95 team? Was it who was it, the 2014 team when they went to the Cup final against LA? This team has such bright stars and a bright future. And I don't want this loss, the pain that some Jersey fans are feeling, the sadness, maybe a little bit of disappointment, to cloud what happened this year. There is, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I really want to get that message across. The depth we added to our forward core this year. That we have the best defensive core that the Devils have had, and I'm going to say it, in almost 20 years. 20 years. You're going to be seeing Luke Hughes play real minutes, play meaningful games next year. He's going to play through all the regular season next year. And let's remember, Not all of our prospects have even come up to the NHL yet. We still got guys developing in leagues like the AHL. The point I'm trying to make is, I know it hurts now. I know it stings now. But I don't want people to focus on tonight's loss. I want people to focus on the near 60 wins this team had. I think it was like 48 wins this year. I want people to focus on the fact that Hamilton had a career year this year. I want people to focus on Hughes having a career this year. I want people to focus on Mercer having a career year this year. I want people to focus on the fact that while we didn't get to see a lot of Andre Palat in the regular season, we got to see how gritty and how phenomenal he is to play with during the playoffs. And he's going to be healthy next year. So don't give up on this team. This team is not done. And this team is not going to be done for a very, very, very long time. So, I think I've covered everything I wanted to talk about. I want to give a big thank you to every single person who has watched these YouTube videos over the last, I'd say, 8 months or so. To everyone who has subscribed, thank you so much for your support. It means the world to me. Every time I see the subscriber count going up, I think to myself, this is why I wanted to make these videos. Because I wanted to share how much I love this team with people who also love this team. And even if you're not a Jersey fan, right? Because I know that I have some subscribers who aren't even hockey fans. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you guys enjoyed these videos, watching them as I have making them. This is not going to be the end of the Devil's Den videos. We are going to be making videos carrying on into next year. I will be covering any off-season moves or off-season changes that this team makes, whether it be, if we get rid of a player, if we sign a player, if we trade a player, if we pick up a player, if we do some, stuff in the off season regarding to, UFAs or RFAs and things like that. I'll probably make a video in the next week or so regarding this team's future in terms of how I think we should build the Devils moving into next year, but now is not the time and place for that. Tonight is a time of solemn remembrance for how good this team has been this year, and to remember that this team is only getting started. On that note, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching. And again, if you're watching this and you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. We're only going up from here. We finished this year with almost 30 subscribers. I'd love it if we can maybe get 1 or 2 for this video. That would be fantastic. But if not, I hope you enjoy watching it. And I will see you guys next year for another year of Devil's Den. Have a good night, guys.